Hello and welcome to the Olympic Ultras podcast. I'm Nate.
I'm Michael.
And this is a very, very special episode. This is the Australia Cup Round of 32 special episode. In the first half, we're going to be looking at Brisbane City's trip to this game, as well as a little bit of their history in the Australia Cup. In the second half, we're going to be looking at Olympics history and their road to this game. And we're going to be talking about some of the expectations that we're looking forward to this match. And then Cup football, anything can happen. We've got extra time coming up in this podcast as well with some very, very special guests. So make sure you stick around for that. As per usual, you can follow our podcast and our journey on Instagram and YouTube on the Olympic_FC_Ultras. And then if you prefer Spotify for podcasts, you can find it on Olympic Ultras Podcast. Cool. Let's kick off, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
So the last time out that we played, so obviously Olympic is playing Brisbane City coming up this Wednesday at Imperial Corp Stadium. Last time we played them was a round 8, a very late round 8 fixture due to a rainy season, as we've all sort of still working around. It ended up, it was a very cagey game.
It was. Again, neither side gave anything away.
No, it was almost like they didn't want to release their secrets.
Yeah, and it was almost like both of them had the same idea. We've got to go out and win this.
Yeah.
And of course, once you have those two feelings, it's just bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to counteract each other every minute of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this obviously was a game for bragging rights, being a Greek-Italian derby.
Yep.
But again, it was also a nice little precursor to what is the Australia Cup Round of 32, but also the Queensland Cup semi-final, because the 4 teams in the Queensland Cup obviously make it into the round of 32 of the Australia Cup, but we also just happened to draw Brisbane City all over again. So we're going to become very, very well acquainted with them. But yeah, it was a very, very defensive match. No side really wanted to show too much. And it was actually until the 80th minute that there was a break by Malachi Love-Samira, who actually broke that deadlock. Yeah, it was just a very, very cagey affair. As we said, I don't think neither team really wanted to give too much away on it.
Yeah. It's one of those games that I was happy with the draw.
Yeah.
Because of the way both teams played.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, they stole the points. Good luck to them.
Yeah, exactly right. Cool. So what we'll do now is we'll kick off with the first half.
Yeah.
And we'll look at Brisbane City's road to this game. This will be Brisbane City's third appearance in the Australia Cup after making it to the round of 16 in 2022 after defeating Cockburn City 3-1. And then lost to Oakley Cannons 5-3 after extra time in that particular year. And then they exited the round of 32 last year to Western Sydney Wanderers, losing 2-1. Always difficult to get through when you've been drawn against an A-League side.
Yeah. Certainly have the wood on you, don't they?
Yeah, it must be a fantastic experience. I think all our A-League encounters have been in the round of 16, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Brisbane City, just like all other NPL teams, entered in the 4th round with a nice, easy 2-0 win over Ipswich FC. I do say easy. It was an 85th minute opener to Jacob Mudnich, and then an 88th minute goal to Malachi Love-Samira. So they started off maybe a little bit cagey, but did get there in the end. This just gave them a little bit of a ball rolling because they then beat Malcolm Hawks 6-0 in the 5th round. And going through, looking at the different results and things like that, one of the things that really stood out for me is just the amount of different goal scorers that they had.
Yeah, very much so. But again, they're not great sides they're playing against.
No. And not to be disparaging though.
And no disrespect to them either.
No disrespect to them at all. But, because Olympic was in a very similar side last year.
Correct.
We got a very lucky run through to, the round of 32 proper. So Brisbane City had a very, very similar way. So Malcolm Hawks 6-0. What stood out to me was just the amount of different goal scorers. So Niall Tom, Malachi Love-Samira, Mirko Krakati, Zach Rossi, Ashton Marsh, Kai Bolt, like 6 different goal scorers.
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
Which is absolutely fantastic for him. In the 6th round, an 8-0 win over Coomera. Same thing, Kai Bolton, Mark Soto Galindo, Niall Tom, Jacob Mudnich, Malachi Love-Samira, Ashton Mark, like all different goal scorers. So clearly they are, and we know this, they are a team with a lot of talent.
Yeah. And it's not just one player you can watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's with most teams have that one or two. You got to watch the whole damn squad.
Yeah. And then this all obviously culminated in the quarterfinal. Logan Lightning 0, Brisbane City 1. An absolutely nail-biting.
That was an incredible game.
Nail-biting performance by both teams.
Yep.
Obviously, both teams needed to get through or wanted to get through. Yep. Each game starts 0-0. Doesn't matter where you are in the league. When it comes to this sort of level, it took a 93-minute header from Ollie Plusnen to get Brisbane City over that line.
So obviously a little bit of tidiness in the Ipswich the Logan backline.
Yep.
But yeah, luck of the draw.
Yeah, exactly right. And, Brisbane City probably, as an ex-NSL club, probably hasn't had as much history in the current Australia Cup as you might expect. Again, this is only their third appearance, which I personally was quite surprised when I
very much so.
was doing my research on that. But that being said, they have had their own turmoils over the years as well. I think they were relegated a couple of seasons back and they've come back up, obviously. But still, obviously, a really good team. And one that
without
we
a
do have to
doubt.
watch
You
out.
can never knock them back. No. You never underestimate them.
Yeah. And obviously, back in the old NSL days and being even to the point of Brisbane Azzurri days, they were obviously such a powerhouse and playing in the what they call the Brisbane Classic against Lions and things like that, which they just recently won over Lions, which was a bit of a surprise.
I remember when I first moved to Brisbane, I went and saw a Brisbane City game. I think they were playing, I think it was either Adelaide or Melbourne.
Yep.
And it was a great crack of a game. So that was the old NSL days.
Yeah.
So
obviously fantastic. A very, very old team, one of the oldest.
Without doubt. Good, lots of history.
Yeah, massive history. So it is still a little bit of a surprise to me that they haven't managed to get to this stage of, the Australia Cup as more than they have at the moment. And I imagine they'd be absolutely chomping at the bit to try to get through that round.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And they would see that as, because of the last result, they would see that as not easy, but one up.
Yeah, they're probably in a very, very similar boat to us of, licking their lips. Like, this is a doable game. This is a team that we know.
Yeah, we exposed them last time, we'll expose them again.
Yeah, we've played it to, at least twice a year, however many years in a row across.
But, as talking to Chris and talking to some of the players, that's a problem that's sort of been worked on.
Yeah.
And these solutions come along with those faults. So I don't see it happening again.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll move on into the second half. So kicking off our second half, we're looking at Olympics road to this game, but also just a quick history of Olympic in the Australia Cup. This will be Olympic's 5th appearance in the Australia Cup, which actually equals the total of Lions and Cairns FC, I believe. Yep. Cairns is now defunct, unfortunately. But this sort of almost solidifies us as being one of the more successful Queensland teams.
Yeah.
So obviously,
which is a record that not many people know.
No, exactly right. And when you think of Queensland teams, you definitely think of the Lions, even to a point of obviously Brisbane City. You think of Brisbane Strikers, even to a point of the old NSL and State League days and things like that. In 3 of the 4 previous appearances, Olympic have made it to the round of 16. The only round of 32 loss was in 2018, drawn away to a fellow Queensland team, if you're seeing the pattern here, losing to Lions 3-2. Oh. So maybe a little bit of too many similarities there for my liking. And hopefully this is one that we can nip in the bud and maybe set that record straight. But in 2014, Olympic defeated Melbourne Knights here at Goodwin Park. Fantastic game. This was before...
We actually came to that game. We weren't Olympic supporters then.
We weren't massive Olympic supporters then, but we
decided to become because it was 1, Australia Cup.
It was Australia Cup.
And 2, Melbourne Knights were playing.
You have Melbourne Knights, big team obviously in the NSL and everything like that, but also Olympic, a big team around everything. Obviously this was the year after they won the NPL Grand Final, so they were at an absolute height, at the absolute peak, and that was absolutely fantastic game, winning 3-1. Exited to Central Coast Mariners, the A-League team, by the same scoreline, unfortunately, the next round. In 2019, we defeated Bayswater City at Goodwin 5-2 before losing to Adelaide United 3-2. Funnily enough, Bayswater City, that game, Chris Lucas scored a hat-trick. Chris Lucas recently came back to the red and white. So that was, Chris Lucas scored a hat-trick in that one, and actually scored a hat-trick, I think, in the game before as well. So, had a nice couple of goes. And then finally, in 2024, we defeated RPL Leichhardt 1-0 after extra time. An absolutely incredible match.
As I said earlier, one of the highlights for me over the last few years. I mean, that game had everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. And we said before the game, we were nervous. We didn't know how to accept this game. We didn't know how to judge the game. We didn't know what to expect from the game.
Yeah.
But when that goal went in, oh my goodness.
And then we went from that to South Melbourne. In South Melbourne, the first time we ever got drawn away in the Australia Cup.
Yep.
Losing 3-2 in extra time felt so unbelievably cruel, considering how well we did.
One of those heartbreaking moments that you'll just never let go.
Yeah.
It'll always come back to haunt you.
But also in the same breath, I still look back at that on fond memories of the travel, the fans who travelled as well, how well Olympic played. And, it's one of those classic, what you want out of the Australia Cup when you think about the Australia Cup as a fan, even I'm sure as a player, it's one of those experiences that you wanted.
Yeah. And as we mentioned before, that was the birth of the Olympic Ultras.
That was the birth of the Olympic Ultras. One of the our first Instagram posts, I guess, were just after the RPL Leichhardt match or just before it, and then quickly jumping into South Melbourne, and that was when we sort of started our digital identity and everything like that. And here we are now.
That's where it really took off, yeah.
So we'll go a little bit into Olympics road to the round of 32. They started as they mean to go on. In the fourth round, they met with Narangba Eagles on a very, very cold Wednesday night. And it did not take them long to get warmed up. Olympic won 11-0.
Yeah.
With Linden scoring in the first minute.
You think, oh my God, another goal. But it was a good performance because they could have put 2 or 3 back and just spat back.
Easy, yeah.
But, each goal has a certain play. Each goal has a certain trajectory towards running through the field. So it was important that those goals were scored because it taught us a lot.
Yes.
It set us well.
Yeah. Linden, first minute, 11th minute, Fumi in the 17th, Damo Grell in the 20th. What I found really funny actually about this match is Linden was trying so hard to get his hat-trick.
He was
trying so hard to get his hat-trick. Will Avis comes on and scores in the 66th, the 83rd, and the 87th. And Will Avis comes away with a hat-trick and Linden didn't. But it just goes to show the competitive nature of our team and everything like that. Everyone wanted to get on the score sheet and we were doing really, really well that match.
It's a brilliant support structure.
Yeah. We then went to, Logan Roos then came to Goodwin Park in the 5th round. We won that 4-0. Goals from Hiroshi, Daniel Leck, an own goal, and Lathan Dunn. Again, just not really letting up. I remember this game quite vividly.
Yep.
We made sure that we tried to put them to the sword as much as possible.
And quickly.
Controlled the game at all levels and everything like that.
You control the early dominance, you control the game.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. And then probably the highlight, the absolute jewel of our run was Moreton City Excelsior 1, Olympic 2.
That was just beyond belief.
An incredible, incredible game.
I mean, really, anytime we beat Moreton City is fantastic.
Anytime we beat Moreton City is one for the highlight reel.
That was so much sweeter.
Yeah. Knocking them out of the cup. Obviously, someone who did quite well in the cup last year, in the Australia Cup as well. So knowing that they wanted to do just as well as us. Hiroshi with the early contender, an early goal, 12th minute. Moreton City coming back in the 59th. And it was that moment where, I'm not trying to be disparaging here, but Olympic has often faltered in the first 15 minutes of the second half.
Yeah. We tend to go into some sort of neutral mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So conceding in the 59th, heart drops just a little bit.
Head, everything just drops. So it was just...
But
you think yourself,
here we go.
Is this it?
Yeah. But to control and to bounce back and to make sure that we are still in control and still making, trying to give it to them and everything like that, and be that threat to Brandon McMorrow's magic feet.
Yep.
just in and out, in and out, in and out, putting it away. 90th minute goal, 2-1 win.
That was just, you can't describe that.
No.
You saw the run, you're thinking, is he?
Yeah.
Is he?
Come on,
You know?
come on. Yeah.
And bang,
Yeah.
it's just.
Fantastic. And then moving on to the quarterfinal. Very, very similar in regards to Brisbane Cities against Logan Lightning.
Yep.
Both teams obviously wanting to get somewhere. An NPL club against a lower league club. Yep. Obviously, we had a really, really good chance. Taringa Rovers at home. But Taringa Rovers came with a lot of ferocity and a lot of support too.
A lot of support. I was really proud of the way they were supported that day. There were a lot of people here.
Yeah.
But they wanted it almost as much as we did.
Yeah, they really took it to us.
And it was really scary.
It was in moments. This was, of course, the deadlock broken in the 30th minute by Daniel Leck.
Yep.
With a header that, looking the video back, I'm not sure how much he knew about it. But yeah, it was, Taringa Rovers pushed us really, really hard
really
and
hard.
really made us earn that qualification.
Yep.
And good on them, to be perfectly honest. But
I never want to play them again.
no, if we never play them again, it'll be too soon.
Yeah.
Going into this big matchup, Greeks versus Italians, knowing, how both teams have got here, what are your expectations on this match?
I can see it being tight. I think you find probably the first half hour will be tight. They'll have the odd flurry up front. The defensive line will come in because all the players are
Test
fresh.
here, test there,
Test here, test there. Couple of shots at goals, see how the keeper's running.
Probably a couple of early niggling challenges as well. Sort of like, hey, how you doing? I'm here.
You're on our turf now.
Yeah.
You know where you are, you're here.
Yeah.
I think it'll probably take to maybe the 25th, 30th minute before it starts to settle down.
Yeah.
Then we'll both get into a flow. And I think it's seen being 0-0 at half time. And
I'm expecting a tight match.
Yep. And I think she'll open up in the second half. Because all of a sudden you've got 45 minutes. You've got to finish it tonight. And that's when I think you'll see some of those real good playmakers come into play.
Yeah, and I think this one's going to be obviously very, very different to a league game. And the fact that there's, obviously league, there's 3 points on the line and everything like that, but this is pride. This is, trying to get through to a really fantastic competition.
Yeah.
The next stage of this competition, chances to go a little bit further and try to push other teams.
For one team, it's the end.
Yeah, exactly right. And
that's the end.
Like, as you
Journey
said,
over.
alluded to,
So a lot of pressure.
You can't just sit there and go, oh yeah, we'll get them next week or pick ourselves up. No, this is it. This is cut football. It is cutthroat. You have to perform.
And look, and the players know it's on the line.
Yeah.
They'll be nervy. They'll have thoughts running through their head. That's why you need to get that first 25, 30 minutes, settle down, know where you are, then start to play football.
Yeah. So I'm very similar to you. I'm expecting a very, very, very tight game that will eventually open up. Not necessarily due to anything else, but more, I guess, tiredness and desperation. Wanting to get that go ahead and try to be the team. That's
I'm not too sure if we have any big names coming back because
we do have a few names now.
If you look at the likes of Fumi and Hiroshi, who can hold the ball very well and pass the ball, you've got Louis Greenwood in midfield. If you can get those players to hold the ball and just distribute, Brisbane City get tired. So we need to do that. We need to pass a lot and let them run and let the ball do the work.
Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers personally that Lyndon Farr's back.
It'll be a good bonus.
Yeah.
But it is what it is if he doesn't.
Yeah, I think he's a fantastic runner of the ball. I think he's a fantastic deliverer of the ball.
Yeah.
His crosses are often low and pacey, and that's exactly what Chris Lucas loves. We've seen him score a couple of goals already this season from a low cross and everything like that. That's exactly what he loves. So if we can get Lyndon back and firing on both sides of the pitch again, because Lathan's obviously, that.
I don't know if I can say this, but he's got that bastard in him.
Yeah, he does.
He's just a gritty, no nonsense, get out of my way or I'm going to run you over type of player.
Yeah, no, he does. So, but no, it's going to be an absolute cracker.
It's going to be a great game. Yeah, I'll be there with bells on.
100%. Alrighty, cut football. Let's move into extra time.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll kick off with extra time, and we've got our first guest, Lathan Dunn. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no worries. So I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions. We want to touch on your journey so far to Olympic. So firstly, you started at Magpie Crusaders as seniors?
Yep.
Yeah. Originally as a defender, I read.
Yeah, so first of all, I started down in Toowoomba Thunder.
Oh, okay.
Moved down there, so I was originally from Mackay.
Yep.
And they didn't have an MPL team at the time, so I moved down to Toowoomba Thunder. Down there for about 3 years, and then moved back to Mackay when they had a team. And the whole time I was a left back or a right back at the time then.
Oh, that's interesting. And you also made it to the Australia Cup 2019 in that one with Magpie Crusaders.
Yeah, made in that one, yeah. So that was round of 32.
Yeah.
I think we versed Coomera Colts.
Yeah.
And then we got through 2-1. And then we went and versed Moreland Zebras away down in Melbourne, which is pretty cool. I hadn't been exposed to anything like that at that time. So, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, so definitely fond memories of...
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, fantastic.
100%.
So how did you transition from a back to where you are today?
Well, that was my next move from Mackay the next season after. When COVID hit in 2020, that led into obviously them being kicked out of the competition for that year because of travel restrictions.
Yep.
So we weren't allowed to fly. So I got signed for Redlands. Geordie Manning and Graham Harvey over there got me in as a defender. And it was a pretty rough start to the season. I was playing as a defender and we weren't scoring any goals. And they moved me to out wide, playing out wide, and scored 6 goals in the last 6 games and got out of relegation. So that's where I moved out of a defender and moved higher up the pitch.
Job done.
I actually saw a video of you scoring a goal at Redlands United, doing your absolute trademark backflip. So that's a celebration that's been going some time.
Just whenever it's called for.
Whenever it feels needed. Yeah. And then we went to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Port Melbourne and St Albans.
Yeah, so I after the Redlands, I moved back to Mackay for a couple of games at the start of the 2021 season. And then I went down to Port Melbourne for a year and a half down there. There was a Queensland coach that picked me up. He was watching some games. And I played down there, played some pretty good football down there, and then moved to St Albans. When was that? Was that 2024? Was it 2023?
2023, I think it was, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
And it was like the reverse that happened at Redlands. Like we had a bunch of fullbacks out. I was playing wing. And they moved me back to fullback. And
of course, been there, done that.
At St Albans. So not super fond memories of St Albans.
All these trips, did you move by yourself or did you have siblings?
Most of them, the whole time I moved by myself. The first, when I went down to Melbourne, my sister followed me like a couple of months later. And it's hard, but I don't mind it. I don't mind the change of scenery. I can say I've lived in multiple cities over in Australia and I've tested myself and tried to build my character a little bit. So, Brisbane definitely is where I was going to say, and play football.
Now you're back up here with Olympic.
Yeah.
What makes that different for you? What makes Olympic different? Why did you coming back from Melbourne?
Straight when I was when I first moved to Thunder, Olympic was the pinnacle. Everyone wanted to play for Olympic. And then I went away down to Melbourne. And when I come back, Olympic were sort of in a tough patch. They changed over a couple of coaches, and then Grossi come in, and I knew Grossi from my time at Redlands. I versed him a couple of times and stuff like that, and he wanted to bring me in, and I think he's a great coach, and he's really good at developing players. I'm a little bit past the development stage, but if I could help some of the younger lads, that would be a blessing. But I also don't like the cold that much. So St Albans would get cold, freezing rain, and it's like 2 degrees in Dandenong. So I was like, get back up here. And then I've been here ever since. and really enjoying it. So
It's funny you touch on teaching young players.
yeah,
You're very boisterous
yeah,
on the field. Is that something because you? It's not a negative thing. I mean, you're looking for opportunities. You're telling players to back up. You're playing where to pass the ball.
yeah.
Do you see yourself as aspiring team captain one day because of the leadership role you put on the field?
Oh, look, I don't really want to go after that. I just want to help the team wherever I think is suitable. There's we've got Driver as our captain and Lex as our vice captain. They're good leaders in their own right as well. And if I can help them in any way, I think that's what brings like the team dynamic to it. You can't just have two leaders, you need a whole team of it.
Yeah, have to agree.
Exactly.
And then, sometimes the game needs something else. Sometimes the game needs a couple of balls in behind.
Yep,
maybe the game, needs higher press, higher up the field and change something. So I see that with my experience. Sometimes the boys don't agree, and then sometimes I don't agree with what they say, but that's what makes team sport so beautiful. And when it all comes together, the last couple of weeks we've been able to show that against Knights and against St. George. We can really click and everyone on the same page. And we're in we're in a good period at the moment, but we've got a lot of players injured. So a lot of players are stepping up, a lot of young players stepping up, and like you were saying about like boisterous and stuff like that. I want to not only hold them accountable, but bring them and lift them as well.
And some players need that. Some players need that direction, that experience from someone older. You've been there, done that.
And
the
provide that
position
experience.
And in many positions as well. So,
and you tend to play high and wide, which gives you a much better vision. Like we've stood there at the game, and you've probably stood in the field almost in front of it, and you can see.
You can see it a lot.
You can see the whole lot, and your vision's just incredible.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you.
Last thing I want to touch on, personally, last year against South Melbourne in the Australia Cup round of 16, scoring and assisting after the massive weather delay, just everything going on in that game. Do you still look back on that moment with like fond memories, or is it just blinkers on, move forward, let's go?
No, definitely have to look on it on fond memories. I think for me, I try and take a lot of confidence from things that I've done in the past and know that I can do those things. So we've got an Australia Cup game on Wednesday, so I'm going back and watching these things that I've done before to give me the confidence and the know-how to go out there and deliver again, hopefully at the highest level. But 100%, it wasn't the result that we would have liked, but the boys gave it everything.
It was an incredible match.
And it was fantastic.
It was so tough with, they were the best team in Vic at the time, and the rain delay, the travel, and the boys, hung right in there, right to the bitter end. And
so many things against us in that match too.
Like late in, the 116th minute, Lex had a shot, keeper saved it onto the post, another day that goes in.
Yeah, it goes in, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no,
definitely fond memories.
Incredibly proud of the boys that night as well.
Yeah,
so
it was a good night.
We had a good night.
That was a good night.
Yeah,
very good.
Do you have any more questions?
Here's a fun question.
Yeah.
Favourite player in the team?
Favourite player in the team?
We don't have to air this one.
Louis Greenwood.
Just because he's in the corner.
He's my biggest fan, so I'll have to say Louis Greenwood. Yeah.
Have you modelled your game off anybody in the past? Any past heroes from different teams in Europe, or you've taken
favourite players or
inspiration or things from other players in the past?
I think Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale. I'm a Real Madrid fan, so seeing those two.
Gareth Bale, lovely choice.
Yeah,
great player.
He's just quick, direct, and then
incredibly underrated in Real Madrid colours too, but he always turned up in the big moments.
Yeah, definitely. I think, and especially I'm on the right. I'm not left-footed, but on the right, I'm playing like that. And trying to jump as high as Ronaldo too is another goal.
You get up there, mate.
Hopefully we can get there one day.
I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
He does it.
Yeah.
No, you get up there, man.
But yeah, no, those two players definitely. When I was, playing FIFA and stuff like that as a young fella, definitely always wanted to control those guys and,
Yeah.
and be like those guys.
Yeah,
and,
no.
yeah. Even now, I mean, Ronaldo's still ridiculous.
He's still
I know.
going.
What is he? 38, 39.
Yeah.
He's up there.
He looks like a
He's
young
still
man.
started for
He's
Portugal.
old.
Crazy.
Yeah, still starting for Portugal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a testament to him. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, who's your favourite player on the team now? Girls, men's and women's as well.
It's
geez.
both difficult.
Put them on the spot.
I know. We're meant to be asking you questions.
Yeah.
I played as a defender growing
Yeah.
up, so I love Danny Driver and I love Jack Hudson.
100%.
I really love those guys. They're
Yeah.
both of them just absolutely strong as nails and really tough.
Technically, really good centre backs
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
There's not
both
many
of them.
centre backs in our league that technical.
Yeah, and I've definitely seen Jack Hudson ping a ball back and forth, very much like Virgil van Dijk actually. Those
Yeah.
like nice diagonal balls back and forth.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're
It's
probably
not some
definitely
most
mine.
centre backs can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And without embarrassing you, probably you. Because only the simple fact is, me playing football all these years ago
Yeah.
was the same position.
Oh, nice. Well,
Up the side, running, crossing.
yeah.
Yep. I played exactly the same
Running
position.
back and forth like a headless.
Because I was one of the fastest on the squad, so I was that position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
That's good.
you
What about the
admire
women's
players
team?
that you see
Yeah.
that you used to do.
Yeah.
And that sort of job with them, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Women's is funnily enough actually quite an easy one. Sophia Cuba for me.
Yeah.
She's a legend.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
She's
I know,
the G.
Yeah. Another strong as nails centre back and ping a ball like just.
And technical too. I saw her
Yeah.
last night doing step overs at centre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baller.
And
Probably
so
Georgia.
good. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speed demon.
Speed demon.
She's
Yeah.
fantastic too.
Modelling yourself off her as well, eh? Quick
Yep.
down the wing.
Yeah.
Get the wing, yep. Get that ball and just run with it. you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very
All right,
much.
very good. Thanks for having me.
thank you.
Mate.
It's an absolute pleasure. Really appreciate
Thank
your
you.
time.
Cool. And for our next guest, we've got Louis Greenwood. Thank you for joining the
Welcome
podcast.
aboard, sir.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
So we've seen you play as a right back and as well as a number 6 in midfield.
Yeah.
What is your preferred position to play?
It sounds a bit cliche, but honestly, just wherever
Yeah.
helps the team, I guess. But if I had to pick, I kind of like the midfield because I kind of float in there as a right back anyway.
Yeah.
But I think I just like occupying that space in the middle to free up, whether it's Lathan out wide to drop deep and get the ball. And
And you're
things
quite
like that.
technically gifted on the ball as well, from what I can see. So like you sitting in that midfield 6 as well is absolutely perfect. I think I even saw you on the wing a couple of games ago as well at some
I
stage.
think I ended up there, Wynnum, I think it was. But yeah, that was a different one. But like I say, I think I just kind of rely on the football IQ side of things to guide me through any
Yep.
position.
You seem very natural in there in that midfield role.
Yeah, I think it's like I say, it's just something that comes probably over time with experience and playing with good players in that position. You kind of get a gauge of
Yeah,
what
exactly.
they're doing and,
Yeah.
and learn off them as well.
Yeah.
So
And have you got any role models in football? Anyone that you've sort of tried to base your game on?
there's a few. I think I'm a bit old school, so the big one for me is like not old, but Philip Lahm and things like that.
Yeah,
like Kimmich,
okay.
like those
Yeah,
versatile players
fantastic
that can
players,
Yeah.
kind of play in any position that you need them to as well. So
Yeah, he was a fantastic player in his day too, wasn't he?
yeah, he was unreal.
You seem to, from what I could find, you started your senior career at Murray United in Wodonga.
Yeah.
Moved to Penn Power. How was that? That's a massive move.
Yeah.
How was that as an experience in general?
Yeah, it was good. So it pretty much came along when I was at Murray United, it's like a small regional town in Azzurri, Wodonga. So the closest NPL 2 team, I think it was, in Victoria. So started there, and then I think they decided not to continue their senior program at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was just turned 18, and I decided my old man was up here, and I decided I'd come down, and he knew someone at Power, so I trained with them.
Yep.
And yeah, that's kind of how that happened. And then I think the idea was to get me in the 23s first and go from there. But I think they saw me as a right back, and that's where I trained. And then yeah, straight into the first team from there.
Yeah, that's absolutely massive because from what I found, you were essentially in the Penn Power first team from as soon as you arrived there, which was incredible. But then you went from Penn Power to the Caboolture Sports Club last year, and then back up to NPL. What made you decide to go to Olympic?
I think we spoke about it briefly. Just outside looking in, you can tell what sort of club it is, and you know, a rough couple of years, probably not wanting to be where they want to be, but you can feel that everyone wants to get back to where they were. And I think if I can help be a part of that in some way, then yeah, I'd love to be a part of that.
I know you're certainly contributing very well. I mean, every player is at the moment. I mean,
Thank you very much.
you can see it out there.
Yeah.
You know, the pride and you wear your heart in your sleeve when you walk on that field. It's incredible. Yeah. Even we feel that.
Yeah, and I think we've said in a couple of podcasts that there was a few weeks in a row where you were just the best player on the pitch every single time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I think I picked you more than once. player of the game this year.
I think I pride myself on, if everyone has an off game technically, but I think the
Yeah,
least
of course you do.
The least you can do is work hard and,
Yeah.
and put
Give
yourself
100%
about.
of what you can
exactly.
that day. So
Exactly.
So, Latham's a very boisterous player, as we know. Do you communicate well in the midfield by directing voice or just body actions?
I try to. I think mine's probably more actions in terms of, if the game needs, if it's dropping off a little bit and it needs a tackle or to be slowed down. I think I can read that and kind of determine what needs to happen. Like you say, you got a few players on there that can do it with their voice. Like, I talk to people on where to be and try to guide them as such, but probably not some of the others. Yeah. So I kind of rely on actions to do that for me as well.
Some players have that ability to project, others are just very shy and just sit back and and wait for directions.
Yeah, exactly.
this is obviously not going to be your first Australia Cup campaign, having played with Penn Power in their 2021, 22 and 23 campaigns. What are your highlights from those times?
I think every game you get to play in there's just something different, I think. So every game's good, but the highlight for me, there's two probably. The Sydney United at home and when Wellington came.
Because you scored on that.
Well. I did, yeah. That's probably why I picked it.
What a moment for you as well.
Yeah, it was good. Unreal feeling, as a left back. I think I was that game.
Yeah.
Didn't really expect to, but it was good. It was good.
That's fantastic. And like I said, before you even came to Olympic, before we even knew who you were, we were probably watching you several times because we were always going to the Olympic Games. And like I said, before we went to that Sydney United game.
Yeah.
And now you've played at clubs that have qualified for the round of 32 for the Australia Cup the last 4 out of 5 iterations. Obviously, you were in Caboolture last year.
Yeah.
What does this competition mean to you, and is it still really special to play in?
Yeah, I don't think as long as I'm a part of it, I don't think there'll ever be a time where it's not special. I think it's something that is good for everyone involved. Obviously everyone wants to win, but even if you lose, you get that experience. Whether you verse, Brisbane side like we've got next Wednesday, or you get an out-of-state team. I think, just the whole occasion is completely different.
Yeah, it's a kind of different buzz, isn't it, to a league game? Yeah,
and I think it's good to see everyone get involved with it. I think the Power game last night, like a lot of fans there, and everyone gets involved.
Yeah,
it's just a good time for football. I think
they always have a good turnout. Power
fans. Power always does.
Yeah, they're quite good.
Yeah, I think it's just a good football atmosphere at these games. So,
and obviously you have your own little fan club. How important is the support from your family, who seem to be there at every single match?
Yeah, it's massive. It makes it, I don't know, it's a lot sweeter, I think, in terms of every fan is important, but I think when you got your blood there following what you love to do as well, it's unreal. And I think to have that at least at every game, whether it's home or away, is massive. And I think that is down to them wanting to be there, which I think is good as well.
It's a big plus, isn't it? Wanting to be there.
And I think everyone here has been welcoming to them, which has made us fit straight in. I think.
I think we first met your wife at the Magic game.
Yeah, I think
on the
so.
Gold Coast.
All the way down on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
I was actually about to say, I think your family's probably the only one who's been to more games than we have this season.
Yeah.
So I think, if I remember correctly, she was struggling with the pram. I was going to give her a hand.
Yes. Yeah.
I think it was raining that game too, and she
It
still wanted
was.
to come
Bucketed
down.
it down.
Still wanted, even at home, I was like, "Are you sure you want to come?" And we're coming.
I think it was sunny for about 2 seconds.
Yeah, and even your mother's made a couple of appearances, made sure she got to a couple of games.
Yeah, all the way from Victoria.
Yeah,
she's a big supporter too.
Yeah, big fan favourite of the podcast.
Yeah, she
loves that podcast.
She comes and says, I had to meet you.
No, she's good. She's
a beautiful lady.
She is.
Have you got any more? No, you're good. Cool. Well, that's all we have for you. So
awesome.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
No worries.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and now for our next guest, the gaffer himself, Chris Grossman.
Boys,
Thank you. Good.
finally we managed to get in the same room together.
Yeah, finally,
I'm
yes.
delighted.
Thank you very much for jumping on our podcast.
An absolute
for our
honour.
Australia Cup special.
Absolute honour.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
So you started your coaching career with the Brisbane Royal Youth Squad in 2016. Was coaching always the plan after playing, or did sort of opportunity knock on the door and you just grabbed it?
It was probably timing, to be honest. I think I wanted to play as long as I could, but timing of or the demise of the Fury and yeah, those sorts of things were probably a good omen as to what I needed to do and wanted to do. There were probably a lot of times during my career I was looking for advice, but I didn't really know where to find it.
Yep.
And I thought, well, if I can be a coach, I can help influence and help provide feedback, which I sorely missed when I was that age. And yeah, it was a perfect opportunity that coaching at the Raw came up, and I jumped at it with both hands.
Yeah, because you were an assistant coach to begin with, and then you moved on to a coaching role, and probably got Brisbane Royal Youth's best performances out of them, and definitely best league finishes. What do you attribute that to? Do you have any like coaching role models that you try to model your style across?
Yeah, well, I was blessed.
Yeah.
I was blessed. It's funny, you look back at it, I think it was probably 12, 13 years ago now, which seems a long time, but it's a long journey. But I was blessed with the opportunity and the role models that I had around me. James Robinson at the time, who I knew from the Fury, was the head coach of the youth team at the time. He encouraged me to get into coaching. That we had John Aloisi and Ross Aloisi at the time at the Raw, which was fantastic. I played under Frank Farina and took stuff from there, Rada Visic. So yeah, there Robbie Fowler, there are a lot of really, really good coaches that I took bits and pieces from, and I still use a lot of what I learned from them today. But I think that's definitely been a massive kickstart for my coaching career. That I'm lucky and blessed to have that opportunity, because it's very difficult these days to be able to be in that environment. But yeah, I took it with both hands. I loved it, and as I said, I'm ever so grateful that I was given that opportunity in those environments.
Yeah, cool. And coaching wise, what is your goal? Like, where do you see yourself? I don't want you to stay personally.
To be
Sign this
honest,
document.
I love the club. I think you can look at it through everything I've been, and I've been loyal wherever I've been. I've wanted to stay there until pretty much I've been kicked out, or until the club's folded, which hopefully in this case it doesn't.
I'm doing it.
I'm a big one for buying into a project, and I'm really, really enjoying my time here. It's a club that I know has got a massive amount of history. It's a club that's got a massive amount of mentality to win. And I feel that we're sort of building that momentum. But for what it holds for me, I think I said this to the players: you're a product of your environment.
Yeah,
so if our
definitely.
environment is successful, then that will hopefully provide opportunities, not just for players, but myself and everyone else. So I'm comfortable, confident, and happy with where I am at the moment. There's still a lot that we need to do here, and I want to achieve here. And it's definitely not a finished product, but I'm definitely not looking for my next move right now. If it comes up, it'll come up. It'll be deserved, but right now, I definitely want to win something. I definitely want to be consistent in what we do and achieve, which I think we've been able to do so far this year. But I still believe with 6 games to go, there's a lot that we can continue to push on and accelerate the process of the project that I want to be part of.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, we've noticed a change in the team structure since you come on board. It's gelled better. The players work together better. It's just, I don't know, they feel more at home.
Yeah, it's a tough one as a coach. I think, as I said, been lucky enough to have the experiences that I have had.
Yeah.
You learn a lot of different styles. I think it's almost like having 22 or 23 kids. Every kid in the change room, you need to understand what gets them going.
Yeah, what makes them tick.
What their emotions are like on the day, and how you work with that and how you deal with that. And I think that's been a big one that I've learned along my journey, and something that, to be honest, I'm still learning now. I haven't foolproofed it, and we obviously integrated a lot of 23s this year, which has been fantastic.
That's been
brilliant. Deserved, but to get the best out of the group, I think I need to continue to drill down and how can I help them tick, and that's obviously buying into why they want to be here, which both of our goals both align, the players and the coaching staff and the club. And now it's just about consistency. I think if everyone looks at Olympic, they will probably say lack of consistency.
Yeah.
It's not easy, and it's something that I'm going to continue to keep finding solutions to, but I think we're slowly getting there, and as I said, I'm confident in the last 6 games we can continue to provide opportunities, find the consistency, and hopefully get the results that we need to. So,
I know you said it wasn't a finished product, but how would you describe your Olympic tenure so far? Because obviously you took over in 2023, really tumultuous time for the club. You've recorded 2 better finishes in the league each year, and we're on course for another better finish than we were last year. 2 Australia Cup qualifications in a row. How would you describe what you've done with this club so far?
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's obviously unfinished. This season can still turn a direction we don't want to, and that's nailing now into consistency about how do we get the boys mentally tough in games which we've got ahead, that if we want to play finals we have to win. I mean, we've already started to do that. Morton City away cup, it was massive for the club, massive for the players' mentality to go, okay, well, we can win these games. And then obviously nights at home, they're games, Lions coming up, Penn Power coming up. They're all games where I'm not scared. I understand the quality within our group, we respect them, but we know we need to beat them if we want to play finals. So it's one of those ones where we have to get it right as a group, coaching staff and players. But it fills me with positivity when we get results like we did with Knights here and Moreton Bay in the Cup. It gives you encouragement that you're on the right path, but the wrong path, or the right path, can unfortunately bring little detours and that sort of where we might have taken the wrong way every now and then, and we found the path again. But I think the playing group has been fantastic. I would like to think a finish or a positive finish is just around the corner for us. But success is, for me, 2 things at this club. Number 1 is obviously winning trophies, and that's something that I definitely want to do as a human being. I want to win. I haven't had the success of winning things in my playing career, but also success for me as a coach, and what I believe in is giving opportunities to players and showcasing them on the biggest stage. Tom Larkham's a really big example of that. I think when I came in, he was broken. He was a body that was falling apart, and we helped. We invested time into, and I think he's played about 50 games for the club now. Matt Reid,
unbelievable.
Is another one.
Matt Reid's
is another one that's come through the academy. You've got Ali, who's been in and around the first team squad now. Juki, who was signed and I've worked with before, he's only 20 years old, but I think he has a really bright future. So there's a lot of those successes that I look at. People on the outside might not look at as strongly as what I do, but success for me is measured in 2 different ways, and I'm hopeful that we can bind both of them together, and it sets the club up for the future. Yeah,
because you just seem to be that kind of coach who likes bringing in the youth as much as possible, trying to use not only the academy as well, but giving those opportunities to the younger guys. And we've noticed that ourselves. Again, as you mentioned Tom Larkin, you mentioned Matt Reid and Ali as well, but even people like Will Avis as well, and Harry Orrs, Savas, Kumpus has played a game or 2 here and there. And that's just it's really refreshing to see that Eugene, injuries have obviously, of course, played a part in that.
They have, but I think as well, the big thing for me, and I'll say this to the players, is trust. I think, once you are a coach, you can influence a game so much, but what you can't do is you can't be out there and play it for them. You can't play key moments. You can't show them what to do. So you've got to be really crafty in what you do off the pitch and get their buy-in to do that. But the players also have to understand that they have to earn my trust week in, week out to do things consistently.
Totally agree.
Because the reality of things in the industry that we've decided to be part of is that once you step out onto the field, they have my job, the club's reputation, everything else at their feet. So if you've not got the right details, if you've not helped them and guided them, then ultimately it all fails. People look at the player, but ultimately at the end of the day, it's everyone involved in the club that fails. And I don't want that to happen. So it's a process. At times people can become very impatient with the process, but I'm very process driven, and the group, I believe we've got in a really good spot to attack the next couple of years ahead.
You touched on as a playing career. Where did you start playing?
So I started playing when I was 5 years old at a club in Regent's Park called St Bernardines Beavers. They were a church league based club. And the only reason I started playing football was purely because a couple of mates that lived down the same street as me decided to start kicking the ball around.
Yep.
I saw them go off to trainings and I got bored and I went there. But I was also fortunate enough when I was growing up, I played baseball at quite a good level.
Yeah.
And it just got to a point where I had to choose between baseball and soccer. And, you know, I love football.
Yep.
A lot of my mates play it. I'll watch it stupid hours at night like we all do. But, you know, if you probably spoke to my wife, she'd say I love football more than I do her. But I think you can love things equally. And
I've had a very similar conversation of late.
But it's a world game for a reason. I think, you know, whatever country it's in, whatever, you know, competition is played, you always want to watch it.
Exactly. Yep, for sure.
And it's been something I've known ever since I was growing up, and it's something I want to continue to keep knowing and being around. Whether my girls grow up and play football or not, I mean, I hope so. But if they don't, I will still be involved at some stage.
Exactly.
Continue to help the game grow.
And you spoke on obviously your time at Fury, at Brisbane Roar as well. I think you were at Newcastle Jets at one stage as well. But then also in the NPL, you were in Port Melbourne at one stage as well. How those little different experiences, how did they help make you what you are today?
Yeah, they're all interesting.
Yeah.
I think they all bring all little different stories and networks. I suppose football, it's very network based. You meet a lot of very, very good people. You meet some people who you might not have a great opinion of, but you still learn a lot from. You know, how maybe not to do things and how you do things differently. But, you know, I'm sure people say the same thing about me. There's things where, you know, this person, whatever. But, you know, the one thing I think you get with me is you get honesty and you get 100% transparency as to where you're at. I think that's something that is tough. But yeah, all those experiences I've taken something from, and, you know, as I said, I've been ever so grateful in my career that I've been fit, I've been healthy, I've been in good environments and had really good people around them. But a lot of those experiences I've taken with me as a coach and gone, okay, well, how can I mould my club, my way of wanting to do things into what I believe is the best interest of Olympic, and we're slowly getting there. But I'm really, really excited with where we're headed and what we're doing currently and how that can be bigger and better in 25, 26 and beyond. So it's very encouraging. Yeah,
even we can see that going.
Yeah, definitely.
Change.
It's been an incredible couple of years under your tenure, and from our perspective and our opinion. Speaking of last year, we made it to the round of 16. So close to progressing through that. This year, what is your goal? Is it sky's the limit, or is it one game at a time? Let's just take it as it comes.
It has to be sky's the limit. I think, you know, last year I still look back at, and
so do we.
You know, as a human being and as a coach that obviously wants to continue to keep improving. I look back at last year. I've told the boys this and been open with them that, you know, I made mistakes last year that we should have got through to the round of 16. So we all look at that and go, okay, well, we made mistakes, but we still got to that point where we were in there right to the very end. I think, you know, it's about learning and developing,
very much so.
And improving. And, you know, we have a perfect opportunity to do this year, not because we play Brisbane City, and I don't think highly of them because I do, but I think we'll learn a lot from our experience last year. And every year we continue to go on. We get closer to a semi-professional club, potentially getting to a final or winning something. So, you know, I would love it to be us. I understand the monumental task ahead to be able to do that. But, we've created some special moments on the journey so far, and I hope that 2025 we can create some more.
Yeah. Do you have any more questions?
No, I'm good.
No. Well, thank you very much for joining us on our podcast today.
Really,
no problem.
Yeah, thank you.
It's a pleasure. It's good to help support guys that support our club, and I love what you're doing. And
thank you.
It's hopefully we can have more conversations like this.
Yeah,
definitely. We'll definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.